Hi, it's Sam. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my free Max for Live MIDI device, Pulsar. I made Pulsar because I wanted to be able to quickly make MIDI notes without having to go to the timeline here and create an empty MIDI clip, and then create a note somewhere and extend it for however many measures. I just wanted to be able to quickly make some sound, make some music, so I made this device. So I'm going to show you some ways that I use it and hopefully give you an idea about how you might be able to use it in your projects too. So on this first track, I just have a bass sound. And what Pulsar is doing, it's right in pulse mode right now, it'll be sending out a MIDI note every measure. So right now it's on, the rate is 1 measure. And there's also a range value of which pitches it might choose from between C1 and C2. There's also a range of velocity values it can choose from, right now 64 to 127. And I'm keeping the gate at just 100%. I'm not going to have a range there, and the chance of the note being triggered is going to be 100% for each time it is triggered. I also have it set up to use the current scale in live. I just have C minor. You can also turn this off and then set it to whatever root and scale that you'd like. So I'm just going to play this. You can see what it sounds like when it's doing its job here. So it only will be sending out notes when the transport is running, and it'll stop when the transport stops as well. Let's look at the next track. On this track, I'm using Pulsar in its other mode, which is hold mode. In this mode, you still have access to the pitch and velocity values, but the gate and chance and the rate is irrelevant because this is just going to hold whatever pitch is chosen at the velocity that's chosen. So let me go ahead and just show you what that's going to be like. So Pulsar is just going to hold this note indefinitely until I stop the transport. Now, maybe you might want to change the pitch or velocity. You might want to even automate this if you just want to use Pulsar in some way rather than putting in the MIDI data. If that's the case, or if you just want this feature, you can click on Trig, which will re-trigger a note when you change the pitch or velocity value here. So let me show you what happens now. So every time I change one of the parameters, it's now going to update the note. So if you want that functionality, you can use that as well. Now let's look at the next track I have here. On this track, I'm back to pulse mode. And another way that you could use this if you want some more chance-based elements in your work. So I have the option of going up to 32 bars here. So I'm going to put it on 4 bars just so it's not too long. And every 4 bars, the chance, 50% chance that this note will play. I'm just going to keep it on C, and I'm going to leave the velocity as normal. I'm going to keep the gate between 50 and 100, so there's some chance there. But it's only going to be a 50% chance that it'll play back. So maybe when I play back, when I start the transport now, it may start, it may not. Let's see what happens. Okay. It didn't get triggered, but at the next, starting at measure 5, it might be triggered. Oh, and it was. This is one way that you can add some chance to, if you want a track that maybe sometimes is triggered, sometimes is not. That is one way you can do that. Now let's see, I'm going to put all of these tracks together now, and you can see how you can start to come up with an idea for a track pretty quickly by just throwing Pulsar onto a few of your tracks and setting up some basic settings here with a pitch, velocity, gate, chance, and you're off to the races. Now on the last track, I have a piano, and I wanted to demonstrate that although Pulsar is only set up to work with one pitch at a time, you can throw on the Chord MIDI device and then create chords, or if you just wanted to have a simple interval like a fifth above or below whatever note is triggered, then you could do that as well. So I've set this up. I have it both following the current set scale of C minor, and I've added a seventh chord. So the triggered note will be the seventh of the seventh chord, and I have the rest of the chord being created using the Chord MIDI device with a little strum. And let's see how this works. Those are some of the ways that I found Pulsar to be useful in my own projects. I hope you can find ways that Pulsar can be helpful in your own projects. You can find the link to download Pulsar in the video description below. Have fun using it, and until next time, class is dismissed.